Hello friends, so in this video we'll do a live recorded evaluation of a sociology answer. So let's look at the question first. Pure phenomenology is the science of pure consciousness, 20 marks, and discuss. So what can be the other possible ways in which the same question could be framed and how it is different from those ways? So the same question could be asked as present pure phenomenology as a critique of positivist method. So in this question there is no reference to a positivist method. It has asked you to discuss that pure phenomenology is the science of pure science, is the science of pure consciousness. So in this specific question it is okay if in the introduction part you explain only phenomenology and there is no reference to any other perspective, right? So let's take a look at the answer now. Phenomenology refers to the group of perspective which emerged in Europe as a critique of positivist school of thought. It was initiated by, okay, so still after reading the introduction part we don't know what a phenomenology is, but we know what it is not. So it is not positivist, but in this specific question you can mention the about what phenomenology does actually. Okay, so for example you can mention that from a phenomenological perspective the social world is a world of meaning. Okay, so these are meaning, consciousness, etc. They are like very integral part of interpretive or phenomenological perspective, right? So make sure you incorporate them in the introduction part of the answer. So from a phenomenological perspective the social world is a world of meanings, and there is no objective reality which lies behind that meaning. So so there is nothing objective behind this meaning. So these meanings are constructed and modified during the course of social interaction. Okay, and another important thing is now after you have mentioned that what phenomenology is, in the second paragraph you can mention about phenomenology as a critique of positivism, and you can now differentiate for example meanings. Okay, meanings they are not capable of independent existence. Independent existence meanings they are not capable of, but social facts are capable of independent existence. That is why they are an integral part of positivists and it is an integral part of phenomenologists. Okay, I hope it is clear. So we won't delve into the theoretical details. We will restrict ourselves to this particular answer. So you have quoted a thinker, which is very good, but this middle line as the critique of positivist, you can move it to the second paragraph, and then you can begin the features of phenomenology. So this will make your answer better aligned to the theme of the question. Also you can mention things like man has consciousness, and whereas matters don't have a consciousness, and that is why the man develops his own meanings and motives, which are constantly negotiated and modified during social interaction. And the work of sociology is to study these meanings and motives. So that is where the basic difference between phenomenology and positivism lies. Now you can explain the features of phenomenology. uh, Pure phenomenology, as you have mentioned it as a separate section, nothing wrong with that. So you have quoted different thinkers, which is very good. You can also mention the work on suicide by Atkinson and Durkheim. So his was a social fact driven approach, and Atkinson's was a meanings driven approach. So this example will help establish the difference between phenomenology and positivism. All these you can mention in the body part of the answer. um, so see, another very minor but important thing, here you have mentioned the headings in the middle part of your line, right? So similarly here it is in the middle part, but when it comes to the criticism, it is left indented. So you can mention the criticism heading also in the middle part. So just a minor observation, but nonetheless it is very important. um, yeah, so again coming to the conclusion part, still it enriched the dominant perspective subjective interpretation of the objective reality. It is okay, but so this is kind of cliched. It is almost often used when it comes to questions on phenomenology and ethnomethodology or interpretive sociology. So you can also mention how uh, it strengthened the qualitative research of sociology, its impact on the reliability and validity of social research. So and then combined with all these parameters, how phenomenology strengthened and diversified and widened the scope of sociology as a discipline. Okay, so out of 20 marks, a couple of before allocating the marks, let's look into the presentation aspects. um, so please make sure that you attempt the answers in the proper answer booklet that has margins on both sides of the page, and make sure that you don't leave unnecessary spaces within the margin. So it's time to work on the presentation aspects now, given that your content is more or less at a decent level. Also if you can incorporate a diagram, for example the difference between positivism and uh, phenomenology in a diagrammatic format, or just the features of the phenomenology in a diagrammatic format, it will help improve the visual appeal of the answer. So those are a few points about the presentation aspect. So out of 20 marks, I would award 9.5 out of 20. So a good mark would be somewhere around 11 to 12 out of 20. So please work on these minor issues. I am sure you will get a good score. Okay, all the best.